Davy. Make it quick. Davy, take it. Take it.
Don't move, Georgie. Don't move.
I ain't going nowhere, Davy. Now, will you shoot that animal? Davy! What happened, Davy? Did you get him?
Don't move, Georgie. Just stay right where you are, Georgie.
Well, in tarnation do you think I'm gonna go? Ah! Ah! What are you doing?
Georgie?
Oh, did you get him, Davy?
I tried, but the gun backfired.
Where'd he go?
He run off somewhere. We gotta get you back to camp. He took a couple chunks out of your hat.
Oh, no, Davy. Hey, we got to get after that bear.
We gotta get you back to camp, Georgie. Get you cleaned up.
To leave a bear roaming around in the woods?
He's a bear, Georgie. You won't get lost.
Look, I can get back to camp on my own. You go after that bear.
Fair enough. Hold it. You sure you're not going to just start on back to camp and then circle back and follow me?
Why would you ask a thing like that? Don't you trust me?
No.
Well, how do I know you won't turn around and follow me and make sure I go to camp?
Because I give you my hand on it.
Well, go. You first.
You.
We're acting like kids.
Are not.
Are two.
You started.
1, 2, 3.
Man is the stubbornest Georgie bonehead I ever saw in my life.
Killed him a bar when he was only 3. My hind foot. Wouldn't happen to have any whiskey on you now, would you?
No.
No, I thought not. Well, I thank you kindly for not shooting anyhow.
Ain't in the habit of shooting talking bear. Now that I know you ain't of the grizzly persuasion, I'll be obliged if you tell me who you are.
Human being, for better or worse, and yourself?
My name's Crockett, Davy Crockett. Something about that tickles your fancy. I'd be grateful to be in on it.
Davy Crockett, are you?
That's right. And you?
Tell me something, Davy Crockett. Did you ever see these before? I can't tell you how many times them things saved my hide. Go on, open it. Take a look. Davy Crockett.
Not like that, boy. Try it this way. Here, see?
Jimmy? Jimmy Crockett? Once upon a time, I reckon. I ain't seen you since you was waist high. You growed right smart, boy.
Things changed in 20 years.
You don't believe I am who I say I am, do you?
Ain't many men get taken prisoner by the creek, walk out the other side 20 years later.
Always used to call you Skeeter. Whenever there's jobs to be done, you was always down in the spring house down by the river. You and me used to shoot marbles together.
I always beat you.
I always let you win.
Had me a dog.
Had 2 dogs.
One was Runt.
I don't recollect the other one's name, but it was spotted. Had a chunk out of one ear. That's the one you always slept with.
His name was Calico. Hey, Uncle Jimmy.
Here you go.
Smells like flowers.
Well, you don't. That's why it ought to be in there with you. I'll be back in a bit.
Oh, where are you going?
Well,
I'm sort of a soldier, Uncle Jimmy. There's people I got to check in with, officers and such. We're carrying on sort of war here.
Where I come from, folks say they're trying to stop an invasion. Reckon it just depends on which side you're standing on. If I was to get out of this stew pot right now, you wouldn't have to tell Davy, would you?
Not if he was standing downwind, I wouldn't.
Oh, that is delicious, Miss Gibbons. Did you make that yourself?
I did. But it's my mama's recipe.
And you just followed her directions?
I did.
Do you always do everything your mama tells you to do?
No, sir.
That answer would be much more interesting if you leave off the sir part of it.
Well, like she didn't want me to be treating you.
Why not?
On account of you being a Tennessee volunteer. My mama heard that you were all ruffians.
Why, no.
But now that I've gotten to know you, I can see that that idea is sorely mistaken.
It is. Yes, it is.
Can you forgive me?
Lord knows I'll try.
Is there anything else I can do?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was thinking one of them liniment rubs might be just the ticket to break the fever and all.
But you don't have a fever.
Well, to ward one off. Liniment is good for that, too.
Oh. Why don't you just take off your nightshirt and lie on your belly and tell me when you're ready.
Oh, I am so ready. You didn't go anywhere, did you?
Still here.
Oh, good.
Relax now, relax, Mr. Russell. Otherwise, the healing power of the liniment will surely go to waste. Lord almighty, can't a body convalescent in peace?
Oh, is that what you're going to do, convalesce? You still got hunting to do, Georgie.
I don't know, Davy. I'm in a mighty weakened state.
We were just in the process of warding off the fever.
Yeah, and a man in a weakened state shouldn't ought to turn his back on an angel of mercy like this, now, should he, Davy? I mean, besides, there's others to go hunting, surely.
Yeah, I guess so. I suppose I even know who I'm going to take along with me. I mean, seeing that you're in such a weakened condition.
Right.
Ma'am.
Who was that?
Davy Crockett.
Is he a Tennessee volunteer, too?
Oh, he is. And a ruffian. One of the worst. At least, ways, that's what his wife says about him.
Oh.
Oh. Hey, Morton. Well, how do you take, good Morton? You remember how to talk any English, did he?
Didn't have no trouble at all.
Tell you a bunch of old Indian tales, did he?
Only a bunch of Indian things for sure. Like where they hide their gold.
heart's going right along with you. My old back and knees are going to rest here for a spell.
Well, it does seem rather inconsiderate of those deer not to just kind of run down there into camp and jump into a stew pot for us. I guess now is probably a good time as any.
For what?
Man lives with the creek for 20 years and keeps his scalp. There's questions. Man leaves a place he's lived in for 20 years. There's a lot more questions.
Please save me. No. I took a creek arrow right through the rib. It was about to relieve me of some hair when they realized I was still breathing. Well, they thought they'd let me die slow. But next morning, I was still breathing. Yeah, I was clutching onto these marbles real tight. They took that for some kind of magic. Who's to say they ain't?
You never try to get away?
I couldn't for a time. And by the time I could, well, there was a woman nursed me back to health. While I wasn't ever total a part of them, I wasn't an enemy no more neither. By and by, a woman and me had a boy. Then we had another. Wasn't exactly a home like most men think on a home, but a place where I was welcome. That's mighty sweet for quite a time.
What happened to change it?
Well, like you say, them deer ain't gonna jump in the stew pot, but let's get going.
Uncle Jimmy, I don't mean to open old wounds, but I would like to know what happened.
What happened was my wife and one boy getting killed at the raid at Sand Creek. What happened was my one living boy hating me. Hating his blue eyes, hating the white man's name I give him, and becoming the bloodthirstiest warrior the creeks have ever known, just to prove that my part of him didn't soil the Indian part. What happened was, the white man come and killed my family. Even the boy still living. That's what happened.
Take it easy and lean on it.
I hate to do it, but I am just like a little kid.
Well, that's why I'm here.
Lord knows how long it's going to take me to get over this. I haven't got any strength at all. It's just terrible. It's just awful, Marianne.
Morning. Looks like you got yourself a new sergeant there, Georgie.
How's that?
Usually you're out walking the point with Crockett. This new sergeant of yours is a big improvement, I'd say. Where is Davy this morning?
Lieutenant needed him to bring in some venison. He's probably out of here before first light.
By himself? You're going to pack a side of venison back in here all by himself?
Oh, he wasn't by himself. I saw them when I was getting up this morning. Him and that old man, they left just before dawn.
Guess you got to get up pretty early in the morning to beat old Mr. Crockett.
I told you.
What do you think?
I think if Crockett tracks deer and kills it, he'd share that good fortune with the rest of us.
He would.
You think if him and that old coot found gold, he'd share that?
Nope.
And that's one Tennessee volunteer's going to have to get his self-taught lesson.
That's right.
Well, now which way? You think that mumbo-jumbo's going to tell us which way to go?
It's done before up here.
Jimmy, what's likely to impress a few creeks ain't going to do much for me. We should make a choice based on the signs we see, not that way. I don't think you're hearing me, Uncle Jimmy.
No, that way.
Signs say this way.
Davy, no! Don't go that way, boy. Jimmy, get him, Jimmy!
Rattler, Jimmy. I think you got me good.
Lay back. Let me take a look. Oh, yeah. It's liable to hurt him, Mike.
Thanks for the warning.
Oh, stuff tastes just like what it is. Did you at least bite him back?
He's too quick for me. How's it look?
And he got you real good, Davy. Hey, you lay back, rest. I'm gonna go get some healing herbs and roots. And you hang on to these real tight.
About time you joined the living.
How long have I been down?
All better part of 2 days. That old coot carried you in across his shoulders.
Uncle Jimmy?
You mean it's true?
What?
What that crazy old coot's been saying, that he's your uncle?
Well, he's brother to my daddy, Georgie. To the best of my recollection, that would make us nephew and uncle.
Well, I'll be a three-eyed grizzly.
Yeah, he's something, all right. What's he been up to since I've been... What have I been up to? I mean, have I been talking, doing anything I should know about?
Oh, you've been talking some, but mostly to Polly and your boys. Nothing that's going to get you in trouble. I better let you get some rest. I got to go over to Mary Ann's. I got a trough that I got to fix over there.
Trough?
Yeah, she asked me last night, wanted to know if I'd promised to plight her trough. I said sure. I'm not even sure what plighting is, but I can fix most anything, and trough ain't a complicated thing any way you look at it. Well, it sure seemed to make her folks and them real happy when I told them I'd do it. Her mom said, two becoming one was a natural way of doing things. Must be they got 2 troughs over there that need fixing. Yeah, I'll stick my head back in here on you later on.
George?
Then there was a time that my boy had to fight the chief's son.
What's his name, your son?
Called him eyes like the sky on account of the color of his eyes. Blue, don't you know? Mighty big medicine, according to the Creek's way of thought. Some said good medicine. Others said otherwise.
Quit moving your head around so much, you're liable to lose an ear.
Where was I? Oh, yeah. Chief's son. Well, he done something real stupid. He said my boy's ma wasn't no better than a dog for sharing a tent with the likes of me. Well, sir, that liked to tore it. My boy finished up that chief's son real quick after that.
What do you mean, finished up?
Finished up. Killed him.
Your boy killed the other one? And he was only 12 years old?
Them Creeks take their arguments real serious.
You ought to give a speech to her, Jimmy. Never heard a white man know as much about the Indians as you do. People pay good money to hear that.
You think so?
What do the Creek use for that?
What?
Money. We were talking about money. The Creek's got anything to use for money? I mean, they don't use paper or anything like that. So I was just wondering what it was they do use.
I heard talk they use a lot of gold. But there's places nobody knows about but the Creeks.
You spent 20 years up there with them, Jimmy. You ever see anything like that?
No. I was always blindfolded. He wouldn't let a white man in there. In the mines, I mean. But they led me there. Blindfolded. Used me like a pack mule to haul the ore out.
Well, whereabouts would this be? This be up around where you and Davy were tracking deer that time he got snake bit?
never seen nothing uglier than the dry bottom of an empty cup.
I got tales to tell, boys, about treasures and gold like you never seen.
Georgie?
Not now, Marianne. I got me a place to get to.
Well, I just wanted to ask you about the best man.
Davy Crockett's the best man. Always has been, always will be. Don't you forget it now.
Davy, I'm plumb sorry than I can say to bother you, but you got yourself a problem.
Evening's over. Say goodnight, Uncle Jimmy.
Hey!
That was goodnight. He mumbles.
Crockett. We was having a real pleasing conversation with your uncle here.
Well, it's over, Hawkins.
Ought to be over when we say it's over. Not when you do. All right. Hit me.
But, Hawkins, I've been here before, so have you. It's like a dance. See, you say something tough, then I say something tougher. Then you shove, and I shove back, and then you bark, and I growl. All it takes a powerful amount of time and energy. And tell you the truth, I'm real low on both. So if you just do us both a favor and take a swing at me, we'll get this thing started, and we'll get it done that much quicker.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I'm standing here waiting on you, man. Now, you gonna hit me or not?
All right. Just stop nagging at me.
Hey, you gonna help me? Oh, Davy's my best chum. I would never try to steal part of a fight away from you.
Thank you for the help, Georgie.
Oh, no problem at all, Davy. No problem at all.
Oh, good.
You're all tall tales and poppycock.
Talking about Indian gold. I never heard anybody claim the creek to hold gold. Never heard anybody hearing about gold being found in these parts.
Wasn't tall tales and poppycock when I warned you about that rattler.
No, it wasn't. How'd you know it was down that trail anyway?
These told me. Sometimes, when I just toss them out, something about the way they fall talks to me, plain as a voice, only without no sound.
What are they telling you now?
They're saying to me the same thing they said out on the trail. Something's coming toward us, Davy. Something we got to be careful of. Because whatever that something is, it's carrying a lot of death around it.
Oh. I woke you up.
You did?
I just came by to see what I could do for your britches.
Marianne, why don't you just keep on talking and I'll join in as soon as I get a better notion of what it is you're trying to say.
I'm just talking about mending your britches.
Of course you are.
Well, it is going to be my job, isn't it?
Doing my sewing and such?
And nursing you back to health, which I've already done. It's never too early to start practicing, is it?
Marianne, how much is all this going to cost me?
Ain't many men be out here 3 days after being snake bit. I know you don't need to rest, but I'm gonna set a spell.
You know, sometimes you talk too much without even saying a thing. They don't look like much, do they?
Yeah. There's all kind of poison in the world, Davy. You'd think there'd be enough out here for everybody, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Anytime you're dealing with more than one body, I guess somebody's always going to be stepping on somebody's toes.
I ain't talking about no toe stepping. I'm talking about whole nations of people. A whole way of life being wiped out forever.
Think it's going to come to that?
I lived with the creek for 20 years, Davy. I can see it plain as day.
Don't you think maybe white man and the Indian, they'll find a way to partner up someday?
I tried something like that with my oldest boy. Named him Logan. Taught him English words. I think he learned to hate me an awful lot from that.
You going back?
Or to camp?
No, not to camp. You know what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I'll tell you one thing, though. My skin tells me I'm at home in one place. My heart tells me I'm at home in the other. You know why I talk so loud about that gold? The only way I can think of, not to be thought of, is what I'm going to be thought of eventually anyway. Squaw man. Man takes an Indian woman. Don't matter that there was carried between us. Don't matter that we loved our boys, which we done. Well, in the creek camp and in your camp, folks hated what we done. So I talked about the gold. Which ain't to say I was lying, Davy. Which ain't to say I might not have been telling the truth. Always remember that thing.
Who are you calling uncivilized?
Russell, you sure got a way of taking a man's words and bending them. Now, all Will meant was that getting married and settling down have a way of scraping the hard bark off a man. That's all.
I guess there was no harm meant. I'm sorry, Will. Who's getting hitched anyway?
Well, Miss Mary Ann Gibbons, for one.
No kidding? I didn't even... Miss Mary Ann Gibbons may be getting married, but if she is, it ain't no business of Georgia Russell.
Look yonder. Somebody go get Mary Ann. Tell her to bring her medical book, quick. Get him down. Easy now. Easy.
Just a medical book. There's a picture on page 102.
You ever seen a thing like this done by a real Dr. Mary Ann? I mean, like, could you, like, show us where to start?
My uncle only taught me about fevers and boils. He never taught me about anything real.
Anybody here got any experience in this?
No.
Is he about out?
Yes.
All right. Hang on tight.
What are they doing to him? Going to the trading post. Hey, wait up! I'm going to wait. Yeah, I think it's that man they brought in. Come on, he's over here at the trading post.
Sure he didn't even see her.
Come on, they need some help.
There it is. What's going on there?
Oh, a trooper came in here about a half hour ago. Shot up something terrible.
You say where?
Oh, he did. But nothing you could count on. What little we could understand was something about an Indian with blue eyes and that sort of thing.
You know, they never told me we was coming out here without no doctors. They never told me, Davy.
Where's your uncle? It was his half-breed snake that did this. Let's get him!
Glad Uncle Jimmy ain't gonna be here to see this.
There's been talk that you rode off to warn the creek we'd be coming.
He rode into that camp, they'd kill him before he could dismount. He's got nowhere to take him in anymore, Georgie. He's alive, and he ain't bleeding, but he's as much a casualty to this war as that trooper we buried.
Where do you figure he's headed for?
Where can he go? He got no saddle, nothing to barter with. Doesn't know any other part of the country except this one. The only people here want to kill him, both our side and the other.
Sound like you hurt for him, Davy.
There's 8 tons of things wrong with Jimmy Crockett. But he's my blood kin, Georgie. Man don't turn his back on blood kin. At least not my way of thinking on it.
Davy, I got me an old mangy hound dog that I've been feeding. A little yellow fella. You know the one? Well, if for some reason I don't get back from this skirmish, I'd be appreciative if you'd remember to feed him.
I'll feed him. What time are you going to be here to remind me? Ready? Yeah.
out to hide from me, you heathen devil. Set him down. Leave us be, Crockett. This ain't none of your affair.
The man's mortal wounded. Now you leave him to die.
I had good friends was killed in that ambush, and I say plain dying is too good for him. I don't much care what you say. Now you leave him and move out. I'll move out when my business is done.
You'll get out now. Or not at all.
You're bluffing, Crockett. He wouldn't kill me. He'd never get away with it.
Well, you got a real good point there. As much as I'd hate to do it, I'd have to give the credit to our friend here for the good deed. Now, I'm getting real tired of waiting on you. And I'm getting tired of arguing over a dead man.
You seen Georgie Russell?
Yeah. He went after a creek. Through there.
You fight like a Crockett, I'll say that for you.
You call Logan. Not my name word.
One of them. Not the one you prefer, maybe. It's one of them.
No, understand.
Ain't that much to understand. Your daddy, Jimmy, he's uncle to me. You and I are blood, boy, whether you like it or not.
No white man, blood to eyes like sky.
I can understand you not wanting it to be so. I ain't gonna change things. You keep going.
Mercy from white man killed my honor.
Dying for nothing or fighting a doomed cause ain't honor, boy. Choices, plain and simple. Now, you can choose to stay here and fight the white man. Or you can take your daddy's lead and you can head west. Start a new life for yourself. I got my druthers, but it doesn't matter what I say. What I do say is this. You'll not die by my hand. And if that's mercy, you make the most of it.
We meet again. Eyes like sky. Kill you.
It's a real big country. Maybe we can stay out of each other's way.
Georgie, all right?
Come on.
Oh, did you get him?
Where is he?
Heading west, I hope. I'll explain to you on the way back to camp. Come on.
Contradictory. What does that mean now?
Is that like contrary? She don't like the country around here because it's contrary? She saying that?
No. Contradictory is like confusing. You know, hard to understand.
So that's why she went home? Because this part of the country is hard to understand?
Well, sounds like it.
Well, if that don't fry,
You sound like you're peeved.
I hope to tell you. And worse than that.
Why? You've been knocking heads talking about how you're just not going to be getting married.
Well, that's a purely total different thing. Total different. How? Well, it's plain to see how a woman could go bunny-eyed over a Tennessee volunteer. That don't puzzle a soul. But for her to get in a wagon and ride off the other way, well, that's contradictory.
Crockett! Davy Crockett! Crockett! Davy Crockett!
I'm Crockett. Who wants me?
It's left outside the gate, Camp Wells. Had your name on it.
Much obliged. The creek might have caught him, sent this back as a sign.
Wouldn't be Crockett luck for that to happen, Georgie. Oh, the Crockett luck is still running, Georgie. It's still running. Powerful strong.
Ho, 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 Jolly Christmas Show with guests Dolly Parton, Don Johnson, Olympic star Florence Griffith Joyner, and Dodgers great Oral Hershiser. Then America's most beloved doctor returns in a special assignment that leads to love. In Marcus Welby, M.D., A Holiday Affair, tomorrow night.